Hey guys, if you've been following me on social media, you probably know that one of the recent books I've been reading is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. And here's a picture of all my turtles finding their temple. So let's get started on this review. If you're not familiar with this book, here's the gist of it. Basically, a billionaire is on the run after being investigated for fraud, and there's a $100,000 reward for him. Meanwhile, the main character Asa, who has anxiety and fear of infections, and her best friend Daisy are looking for him to get the reward. As I mentioned before, Asa has anxiety and a fear of germs, so much so that she starts opening a never fully healed callus on her finger, and then she worries about infection, so she has to drain it from blood, and the cycle just keeps going. John Green painted a realistic image of this mental illness, so much so that even while the reader is rooting for Asa to completely get rid of her anxiety by the end of the book, that isn't what happens. We don't have the happy ever after. We have the realistic, but not sad, ever after. There's a similarity to The Fault in Our Stars. Not a big similarity, but I like that John makes Asa and Davis, the billionaire's son, watch the stars and consider how the star's light is from the past. John always emphasizes the romantical aspect of stars in terms of what they mean to us or how they make us feel. While I usually prefer plot-driven books, I enjoyed this book a lot because of its emotional aspect and the way it brought me inside the spiraling mind of an anxious person. Being a John Green book, you know that the plot is going to take a back seat to the character development. His character-based writing is moving and relatable, so if you love books that make you feel on an emotional level, this book is right for you. While you can see that I really like this book, it isn't without its faults. In Our Stars. A lot of characters are philosophical, just like John Green, so reading a scene and picturing John writing it instead of the character living it just pulls me out of the scene. Furthermore, while Asa has her anxiety, we aren't sure what led to it. We see hints from when she was a kid that she was fine, but then a major trigger point was when her father passed away from a heart attack while mowing the lawn. But this isn't what caused her anxiety, so I wish we knew more. Another part I thought needed more depth was Daisy's character. I feel that she is just there in the story to be the normal character and help us compare her to Asa's anxiety. However, she doesn't add much value to the story. That about wraps up my review. However, I want to point out one thing that John Green stated about this novel. He said, "This is my first attempt to write directly about the kind of mental illness that has affected my life since childhood. So while the story is fictional, it is quite personal." Let me know what other books you'd like me to review. And if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you check out my others and subscribe. And remember, Nour for president!